here looking at YouTube. I'm looking at stuff that's going on in the world, protesting and stuff, racist. I don't know how can. Well, it's me. Hey, yeah. I could be um, going live and let y'all see this. It's about racists, it's about the Proud Boys and other racist people. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all see some of it. Columbus. Look at the Proud Boys. That's awful. I'm saying how this world don't turn upside down. So those Trump people, they was waiting for this day. I don't care y'all on here or not. Y'all need to go down to the border. ICE and Trump people, all y'all. I don't care if they listen or not. I'm old. I went through all the Martin Luther King stuff. My mama, my grandmother. I know all about racists and shit. Yes, it is. Oh, what happened? I went live. We're going live. Why that came up? Somebody ain't like this. Like my stuff just froze. That's right. Set that flag on fire. We ain't going for that. Coming in my neighborhood. These days, you need weapons because of these crazy people. I don't like guns and stuff. I like water guns, like and I got tasers. I would tase you up. Maybe I need a gun, but I ain't gonna say that. I don't like guns. I had a brother got killed a long time ago. But these days you need one. Right now. Cause Trump and that mustard going cuckoo. They need to be put down. I hate to say that. But that's how I feel. You talking about they came out a U-Haul truck. The puppets. The fuck white supremacists. They came out a fucking truck and above a highway. And they thought they could come in there, Lincoln Heights out there, and trying to come in the neighborhood. They wasn't going for that shit. Look at the U-Haul. Y'all see that? Yeah, one of the assholes left the car right over there with them with a service dog in the car. That's crazy.
is in there at school with me, driving it to you guys, I can go and get it. There's a dog in there. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to get him. He's my service animal. That's why I really need to get him.
Here.
Get your mask on. Let's go.
Why you bring your dog with?
Just take
Service dog. What that is.
Take that black switch, that shirt off, and you can get in my car.
Cool, thank you.
And then,
Why you taking the shirt off? Huh? Why you taking the shirt
Yeah.
off?
Why you taking the shirt off? Trying to act like
Seems to me like
he trying to get over to get his car and his dog.
so that he doesn't seem like a member.
Yeah,
of that group.
yeah, that's what
When
he
you
do.
go in and
He didn't want them to know that
he's
he's a white supremacist.
because apparently it doesn't matter, right? So
Hiya.
apparently
It's
it's
me.
all good.
What's up?
It doesn't matter. They
Y'all be
decide
safe
that.
out there. It's crazy,
So why it matter now?
especially down the south area. In New York and Washington, they're protesting like hell. So I'm gonna go sit right back down and let y'all see this. Yeah, we gotta get the dog.
So y'all got no more hate. You got no more hating that you doing today? Huh? Cause y'all, Vince Carter said, I think I got one more in me. You sure y'all ain't got one more in you? Huh? Cause I'll be honest with you, I had to stop and get some lotto tickets on my way down here.
He's so funny.
Reese
Reese Waters.
Mm-hmm.
He's a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. Chicken bones,
He's funny.
blocking parking spaces. You can't even use half the parking spaces because they just covered in chicken bones. I dropped you by that 7-Eleven. Well, guess what? That story was far from over.
Your video tonight shows more of the response from police when neo-Nazi demonstrators came to Lincoln Heights last month.
Hamilton County Sheriff releasing hours of footage showing
I'm
deputies
reviewing
and angry
videos.
neighbors telling the white
Especially I
supremacists to
review-
leave the I-75
I've been doing a lot of reviewing
WLWT News 5's Rachel Hersheimer broke
about
down
all
the
this,
intense
the
encounters
protests
between
and stuff
neighbors,
about what's going on in
police,
the world with
and
the
neo-Nazis.
vets and stuff like
A
that.
Hamilton County Sheriff deputy confronting a hate group.
Let everybody in the world know what's going on.
Now that is a very different tone than the deputy that gave him a ride. That is a different tone. Y'all gonna have to reconcile. Y'all gonna have to reconcile that because you better talk to him. He had him in the back of the car and everything.
February 7th, neo-Nazis waved flags donned with swastikas on an overpass connecting Lincoln Heights and Evendale, causing chaos and anger throughout the community.
What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? I just wanted to take a quick poll of the audience because I apologize for not warning you before showing a brother yelling what y'all want to do. A lot of things can give people trigger warnings.
And he's a comic
But for
too.
me,
He's a comedian.
growing up in the 90s
He do content on
and the
YouTube.
early 2000s in a major metropolis, hearing a brother yell what y'all want to do is an emergency situation. I apologize. I apologize if there are any of you guys who are still dealing with the adverse effects of what y'all want to do. Because that is, I mean, really, some of the darkest chapters of my life have started with a brother yelling, what
you
y'all
wanna
want to do. And also some of the funniest, if I'm being honest.
Deputies tried to calm the crowd.
We know each other. I got your back. Come on, man. Nobody stands for this.
Now, that is the kind of response that could have mitigated a whole lot of this. You know what I mean? That's the kind of response. If we know each other, I got your back was the ethos of the entire force's actions and behaviors on that particular day, then I wouldn't be here doing my second update to this story.
But residents would not back down. Some grabbed the flags and destroyed them. Even when the hate group left in a U-Haul, tensions escalated.
We got fights.
A few feet away, a crowd gathers around a black Jeep.
Black Jeep is what the firearm arms and came out of. There was a U-Haul that was parked over there on that corner side of the building in the lot.
You then see deputies talking to the people surrounding the Jeep.
What are you all doing to de-escalate this crime?
Right
Not
now,
by yelling, sir, I'm sorry.
I understand. Right now, it's a bunch
They
of
were
people,
helping them.
local people that are highly
They were
agitated
protecting
and
those damn
upset.
mother
Understandably.
white supremacists.
What happened here today? I think once we get this car out,
I don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that talking. They don't want to hear that.
Hamilton County Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey condemning the demonstration, saying the demonstrators had the legal right to open carry in Ohio, but came with no advance warning. The sheriff is working with the prosecutor's office about potential charges.
Remember,
Y'all know about that.
also released
You need to start
footage,
lying.
which included one officer
I
who
don't trust
talked
none of
with the
these
neo
cops.
group in Lockland after leaving the bridge. Evendale Police, they have now launched, or Evendale rather, the city of Evendale has launched an independent investigation into its officers' response.
So what you're telling me is that officer went rogue? That officer
Yeah, a whole bunch of going around because of that damn truck shit.
is
Excuse my
that
language.
is that what I'm getting?
They got all that.
So he was on his free
they
time.
got the
This
power
was
right
what
now.
He was deciding to do on his free time.
They better
You
calm
know,
down
when he
because some
chooses
people
to
ain't gonna go for that shit.
support or not support groups based on his own personal interests.
Fight the power,
is that what
everybody.
you're saying?
Fight the
'Cause
power.
That kind of sounds like that was what you said. Now, given that had hit the light of day and general dissatisfaction with the general response of the authorities there on the ground, the black community was not taking this lying down. We saw some of that before.
Anger and frustration, now turning into a push for more answers and transparency. Residents from Lockland and Lincoln Heights held two separate gatherings Monday. A demonstration above I-75 South at the Lockland Split and a town hall in Lincoln Heights.
An incredible amount. But we need a full investigation and it
Look
needs
at
to be
that.
had
Look at that,
in a way
y'all.
that at the end of it, yes, people do feel safe. They feel like they can trust the institutions.
But now it's gone to a whole new level.
Turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did residents tell you about this town?
Yeah, I was there just this
I don't
week.
know if
John.
you
It was
hear that.
fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a refuge for Black citizens, which is why it was especially painful.
Hello,
when
everybody who just
suddenly
came up.
appeared in this
Hello.
3,000 person majority Black town, but they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets.
Trying to
Now
see
they're
what
in
y'all
the center
saying.
of a
I'm
much
always sitting in the
larger
back of my.
debate about protection and free speech.
Hello, everybody. That's all I can say right now.
These
Hello.
aren't police officers
Y'all be safe out there.
or soldiers.
Your business owners, the fathers, the sons, daughters.
These are civilians.
Look, they're ready. See, they wasn't going for that shit. They're strapped.
It's a duty.
Yeah. They take their neighborhood and their kids. That's what I'm talking about.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. At the time, law
See,
enforcement officials
those
said the
white
neo-Nazis
supremacists, no
were
Proud
not
Boys
breaking
think
laws,
they're the
but
shit
an
right now, but
investigation
you
by
can't,
county
no.
prosecutors is ongoing.
People like them, the black neighborhood and stuff, they ain't going for that crap.
Myers.
KKK must have been furious. Like, what? They hating in our turf?
How about that?
Not
Y'all think y'all gonna come my turf acting like that and we ain't got nothing to protect ourselves?
When we went to the
We are strapped.
and we carved up all the hate turf, that's supposed to be, you know, we gonna hit the ground. We gonna
Coming
hit the
and
ground.
destroy
Matter of
our
fact, I
peace
saw they left there in
in
that
my
U-Haul.
neighborhood.
And I heard
They wasn't going for that crap.
service dog. I don't even think they really fully functional right now. Now we hitting the
Y'all
ground.
just be safe
We
out
hitting the
there.
ground running. And I would also like to bring up the fact that while I don't follow the local news in this area with any level of consistency, the fact that from a national standpoint, I've been looking at what this community has been dealing with, and we completely miss the KKK handing out flyers on the ground.
And the
That's the kind of thing that's just like, oh yeah, and that happened. Yeah, black in America. When KKK on the ground handing out flyers, oh, I forgot that happened. Yeah, but you know, they be here, they be here every other month. You know, whenever they think they can carve out some new hate territory.
First African American community above the nation, biggest line of staff.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durance Daniels says the police
I
did
just
not
look
do
at that.
enough,
Look at that.
which was
They ran a U-Haul
because
truck.
the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home.
I heard that city, that Lincoln Heights. That man movie out of Lincoln Heights, a movie.
Broken any laws, so we're just gonna allow them to break into your home again. What
See?
would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that
He
day,
looked like he
said
did
in a
retire.
statement to NBC News, our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injury to any of the persons involved. But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch Group escorts children to school and patrols the streets. Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds, so we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our families from what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security group, some, like business owner Eric Ruffin, say they wish the group wasn't needed.
We don't want to become what we hate. You know, we don't want to become
They make us
a group
criminals.
of people
They trying to come in our
walk
neighborhood.
around feeling like we have a reason in America
Man, that we got
to
missing
protect ourselves.
black people.
Wait a minute. I recognize him.
Officially letting you know there is racism in America. This is absolutely
Okay, that's him.
ridiculous that I gotta deal with this. Try to elevate myself and hold myself to a level of responsibility and accountability and charity and business ownership that I could be proud of. And I got to stop at a stop sign and somebody call me a N-word.
Oh, he said, fight the power. That's right, fight the power. So, man, fight the power.
I hope that this can change, but you have to realize that this is a big issue.
Now, to his point about we don't want to become what we hate and we wish this wasn't needed. As far as we wish this wasn't needed, y'all know better. I mean, really, yeah, obviously, but we are far from an ideal world, aren't we? We're centuries into a world that has veered away from ideal. So let's put that part to bed. As far as becoming what we hate, I think the end goal of being to maintain a level of peace and a level of safety within our communities requires that we look at all potential options. I don't think this was the first option. This was the option that was pursued when the response from the authorities was observed after the Yahtzees were on the bridge.
We contacted the mayor of Evendale's office, and they say that prosecutors are looking at body camera footage of the neo-Nazi rally to see if any criminal charges could be filed. But meantime, the Hamilton County Sheriff is also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carrying, guys.
So, Maureen, let me ask you, one of the people you interviewed there, a young man, said he's never felt safer in his community than he does now. So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it. What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Now that's interesting. He's asking about the contagion factor. Now, I'm not a regular viewer here, but I find it fascinating that was a question that was asked about the safety patrols, but not the Yahtzee March. We're not concerned concerned about the contagion factor of the Yahtzee March. If we were concerned about that, then we would be doing more on a federal level to curb this kind of behavior. But we have seen a willingness, and in fact, a bit of a directive from the powers that be to consistently turn a blind eye to this kind of white domestic terrorism within our country. We're not worried about the contagion factor there.
So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it. What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Duran's, I don't want to speak for him, but after my
Well,
conversation with him, I feel like I
contagion
can confidently say
Where the hell is
that the
contagion
factor has already happened.
What's that
Because
mean?
when I asked, is this a reaction to a local moment or a national movement? And he said, look at
They
January
did say at
6th.
the neighborhood.
He said, you already have
That's what
people
the
felt
Proud Boys and
emboldened to come
the
here
white
locally
supremacists.
because of what they saw nationally.
You
If
had
you
that
came
kind of
from the
contagion
building
factor.
of
Where
the
the hell that
halls
supposed to
of the
mean?
Capitol and then be pardoned,
They would
not be
detect that they
prosecuted.
had in their
Why
family.
don't you think you can come to a small village of African Americans, only
No.
3,000 people?
Thank you,
Right on.
and good night.
Group have any real authority, but as long as they stay within the confines of the law, they should be okay.
It's a
Can't
great
stay
question.
top
You know,
line. They
I
won't
asked
let you.
that basically, are you stopping
gonna
cars when they come in?
take it
because
out
you
to a
think
cabin
someone
then.
looks suspicious? Is that, profiling in its own sort of way? And they said, no. We are patently aware of what our rights are and what our limitations are. They said, we're not officers. What we do is we are trying to cooperate with the police department. So if we see suspicious activity, because remember the KKK came back with flyers just after this rally. So they're saying this is more of a defensive posture to deter people from entering our community and showing them by virtue of our masks, by virtue of our guns, that you can't come here and we're not going to take this punch lying down.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't also present the fact that not all residents are in favor of this kind of action.
Tensions are high here in Lincoln Heights right now. In fact, as we were coming into Lincoln Heights earlier today, right at that I-75 exit, we saw men with those long guns guarding the area near what looks like a pop-up tent of some kind. And while some are saying this is disruptive and dangerous, they say they're doing what they can to protect themselves. It's part of the reason a group of residents in Lincoln Heights are now arming themselves to patrol their village.
Putting a lot of people in danger by doing this stuff.
But some, like David Piscopo, say the display, while understandable, is becoming disruptive.
Neighborhood watch, but to another level.
He claims he was approached while heading to a work site in the area.
As soon as we got off the exit,
Yeah.
at the first stop sign, we were met with, groups and groups of people putting on bulletproof vests, holding guns, and
They ain't playing.
lit up. And they had walkie-talkies and
I'm
stuff.
missing you in the neighborhood.
He says because of this misunderstanding, he had to abandon the job and he potentially lost a client. But those armed residents tell me these patrols are about ensuring their safety because they're concerned about police conduct.
As the story is being told, we have to remember that this occurred, this atrocity is what I refer to it as, occurred at 2:30 in the afternoon when babies were being dismissed from school. That is something that is unacceptable in a community. Obviously, that creates panic.
After flyers with the N-word declared a race war began circulating on Tuesday, the residents declined our request to be interviewed. But they did allow a local pastor in their community to speak to WCPO on their behalf.
What became clear yesterday was that there has been a pretty significant deterioration in the relationship of the sheriff to the community. That's why people feel they don't trust the policing, the law enforcement that exists in the community.
Democrat State Representative Cecil Thomas met with the state's public safety director and says clear guidance is on the way.
We don't have to create a new law, but we want you to be very clear as to what the law says.
Now, there is a whole lot to unpack here. And certainly I am not disregarding the feelings of the gentleman who lost work over needing to go through the safety patrol. However, I would like to toss back to what was said earlier in the video about we wish this wasn't necessary.
How about that?
We wish this wasn't the case. But we live in a world where Yahtzee's on the bridge and KKK on the ground. So we have to deal with the world as it exists,
With
not
how they
as
bring
we
it.
would want it to be, not if we also want
They
to
asked
feel
for
safe
this.
and protected.
They
There
asked
is
for
a
that.
whole lot to unpack here. For one, the idea that, as I heard many times joked about, if we actually wanted to enact gun control in this country, then black people need to arm themselves and they will move swift, fast, and in a hurry. We see the divorce between gun advocates and the black community when it comes to a black person being accosted, assaulted, or even unalive because of a misunderstanding
They got that airport.
when they
The
are
woman got that airport.
We've seen it time and time again, and we have never heard from the gun rights activists to try and protect black people. So one thing we know is they're not going to cape for us at all. That being the case, this creates a scenario where they might feel forced to, because we have seen that the one instance which seems to really change people's hearts and minds when it comes to the right to bear arms is when they are in the hands of black people.
A lot of the laws at that time actually targeted, the rights of free and black people and their access to weapons generally, including firearms, to kind of mitigate that threat.
A variety of restrictions on black gun ownership extended well into the 20th century. In the 1960s, a state law was passed in California banning the open carrying of loaded weapons in response to the militant Black Panthers organization conducting armed patrols. The law passed with the support of the National Rifle Association and white conservative politicians. Fast forward a half a century, and it's common to find mostly white conservative activists protesting while heavily armed. Higginbotham's research indicates that many pro-gun activists view white gun owners and black gun owners very differently.
It's typically what you see is that so white Americans who have these stronger anti-black attitudes are the most in support of gun rights or most opposition to gun control. What we showed in the research is that when making these white Americans think about black Americans using and utilizing their rights, they're actually less in opposition to gun control.
The other thing which has to be brought up is in the light of these conversations about Derek Chauvin and these conversations about trying to inflame this group or that group, one of the conversations we have had is whether or not we are being intentionally provoked or really gone past that, the ways in which they are trying to intentionally provoke us. So we have to be extremely careful about how we move. I tip my cap to those folks for making sure that they are moving in lockstep with the law, because all they're looking for is a reason. And the image that they broadcast on right-wing television would be enough for a whole lot of people. That's something that we know. As far as Ohio is concerned, this was actually a situation where I have to fall back a little bit from my criticism.
Witnesses detail how the N-word was thrown around repeatedly after Mentor Councilman Scott Martin and his wife Wendy got into a fight with then 26-year-old Tony Q.
That's what I'm
Jackson
talking about.
Davis
We
over
need to
how
be
fast
armed.
Jackson
I hate to
Davis
say that. I don't
may have
like
been driving
guns.
in the parking lot.
Word.
I'm sorry. He did.
Okay. That word can be heard on police body camera video from a woman after first responders arrived. The body camera video also shows how Councilman Martin ended up on the ground after being hit.
Well, I guess we stand right here. I guess we're staying right here. I'll see y'all for the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video and supporting the channel. And I want to send a very special shout out to everybody who attended our 2,000 member live celebration last weekend.
Yeah, Mobutu quit, and he had the fool right. Yeah, this will be crazy when they find out what happened. Come down. Yeah, because Mobutu, he had the fool right now.
It was so much fun. I think we want to make it regular. Yeah, I think we're going to make it a regular thing. So we're going to usher in a new regular member.
That's Reese Waters. He be on YouTube.
Community tabs. You guys let me know when would be the best time to to bring in a new live onto the weekly schedule. And if you would like to join, there is a link to membership in the description box of all of the videos. Now, that'll be in addition to the regular Tuesday lives, which we move from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So be on the lookout for those as well. I'll be bringing in guests. And speaking of...
Okay, till there. I see y'all later. Y'all be safe. Hit the subscribe, like, and comment, and notification bell so I can let you know what's going on in the world. Until then, y'all be safe. Peace be still. Thanks, everybody, for looking at the video. Y'all be safe. I think this the weekend. This Friday, yeah. Yeah, okay. Until then, yeah, y'all see if I got the mask because season, the allergies. I got my window open with the air, get all this fresh air. And it got me, my nose running and coughing. Allergy season. Okay, y'all be safe. Till then, peace be still, everybody.
But once again, I am so happy that you are here along with me on this journey. There's a lot more to come.